So here we are, it's early June, and we're still in a rather prolonged dry spell. About 6 weeks since we've had any meaningful rain. So we're up here in the top field. Excuse me, I'm a bit hay feverish today. And I'm just looking out on the trees that we've planted, and I'm still finding it quite remarkable at how quickly the cuttings that we took, and there were no more than twigs, have grown and established. And our flag irises have been magnificent this year. They're nearly over now because the flowers don't last that long, but when they're here there's just a gorgeous spread of yellow, and the bees and the wildlife are drawn straight into them, and it's exactly what we wanted. And you know, seeing the fruits of our labour come out like this, and as I say, it's not quite 5 years since we moved to this plot of land. It's so nice to see how things have established, and yeah, we've made mistakes along the way, and we've learned from those mistakes, and we'll continue to learn from our mistakes, but equally there's so much that's gone right. So I think last time that we put a video on, we had the Rylands. Now you'll notice that at the moment there's only 4 lambs in there. They're not too distressed, but there's only 4 lambs in there because their mothers, there's one in here hiding, because their mothers are in the other field being sheared. And that'll be a major relief for them, obviously with the heat and all the other pests that you would associate with keeping lambs will be removed to a point because of the shearing that's now taking place. Our local portable sheep shearing man is on the land, and he's shearing the four sheep. I say it's a world first for our smallholding. We've actually got a live audience. I won't say much at the moment because I obviously don't want to disturb him, and I don't know if he's camera shy. But I'll go in through the bee field and I'll come back round. That's some haircut or wool cut. So anyway, let's come back in a minute. So, just going to go to the bee field. We've carried out a bee inspection earlier on today. We're hoping that we've passed the danger for swarming. The bees look really happy, and the honey flow or the nectar flow at the moment is great because of the weather that we're having. Our Buddleia globosa has been, and still is, as you can see, absolutely alive with bees. And I would say, well, I would expect, apart from the odd bumblebee, that nearly all of them are going to be from our 2 colonies. Oh, it's a beautiful plant in any case. So unusual. But I don't know if you're picking up the noise, but you can hear it. It's not only, you not only can see the movement of the bees, but you can hear the buzzing. It's great. It's great. So we've left the bee field as wild as we can, I suppose. We have trimmed some paths in because we want to make it as accessible as we can. So both the boxes have got additional supers on, so those are at the top, and as I say, the honey stores in there are incredible. We hopefully will have an excellent crop this year from both colonies. Both colonies just seem to be doing so well. We've got queen excluders on now. Queen excluders stops the movement of the queen laying eggs in. So we've left the bottom box and the next box up. So the deep box and the super, then above that there's a queen excluder. So the queen is now in either the bottom or the box above it, laying her eggs, and her colony, her bees, are eating the stores that are in there to keep the energy levels up. Above the queen excluder, we do have the worker bees and the drones in there doing their thing, but that's where the queen can't get into, so that's where the queen can't lay her eggs, which means it's our honey. We will take those boxes off in September and we will extract the honey from them. We may even need to put other supers on if this weather continues as it is and the bees are flying for virtually 12 to 14 hours a day, collecting the nectar and the pollen, making the honey. We should have quite a good crop this year. So just into the orchard. There's hundreds of raspberries. There's probably thousands of raspberries. They are looking good. I haven't watered much in this orchard, and I probably should, I think. I haven't extended the irrigation system up to this part of the land, and I think that's going to have to go on the to-do list. Apples are starting, and it's only mid-June or beginning of June still, and the weather's been so good, and you forget that we're not even into the height of summer. Now hopefully on here somewhere, well, there's a pear. You see, I think the pears are, you see, this is where I could be at fault. The pears that we have aren't surviving, and that could be because of the water. There's another fairly good sized one there. So I don't know if they're drying up and just falling off, and I would imagine that's because I haven't cared for them as much as I should have with regards to watering, but I've never known it this dry for such a long period. Gooseberries are doing much better than they were last year. Obviously the weather's helped, but also if you remember, we took this hedge down here to allow more light in, and I think that all the fruit has benefited from that. It's just moving along with our small holding lifestyle and developing the plot of land that we have to get maximum benefit out of it. Apart from the asparagus, which was once again rubbish. So we've got an excess of corn plants, so we've put those in the asparagus bed. Strawberries, well, what can I say? Hundreds of them, and I'm really glad we've just dedicated one raised bed to strawberries. We love strawberries. You've got to remember to pick them once they start ripening up. There's no stopping them. very good this year. Potatoes are doing well. I've been mounding the potatoes up with our compost. The first bin that we've used is virtually empty now, and again that's taken 3 years for us to get that compost into a position where we felt it's good enough to use on the plot, and being organic and not wanting to use any pesticides or additives to the compost or anything like that, it's probably taken a little longer to break down. Here are the corn. Look at those. And again, we're only in June, but it's been so hot and warm and sunny. Tomato plants are now flowering. The broad beans, oh, they've fallen down. Ah, Mr. Pan, sleeping in my salad trough. The broad beans have been exceptional this year. They really have. They've cropped heavily, but also, whereas last year it was quite disappointing with once you shelled how fewer beans there were, these have been full casings and they've been really nice and plump. And again, is it the warmth in here, or has it been down to our watering regime? Butternut squash coming along. They're from our own seeds. We've always used bought plants before now, but these seem to be doing okay. That's our sacrificial cauliflower. Just let the bugs have that. And the peas are coming again. It's remembering to pick them. But they're sweet and succulent. I think I'll eat those now. What say you, Mr. Pan? Oh, let's remember to put the beekeeping equipment back. So just go around and see the ducks and chickens. And the pond. Well, we've been in this situation before, but as you'll see now, that pond is dry. I was worrying earlier in the year that we had too much water. That's right down to its last noggins now. So the paddling pools are back out, and no sooner as you put clean water in them, the ducks are straight in. But hey ho, that's what it's there for. There we go, there's the first sheared sheep. Oh, the battery hens that we had have settled in, cheeky little blighters. They found an escape route. You quite often find them in the road and you end up picking them up for a while and tucking them back in. But they're so friendly. They're so friendly. They follow you around. They're not scared of you, and they don't mind being picked up. Not like the other ones that we've got. Them. I'm not petrified of us, but the ducks are. Oh, I bet that's a relief for you. And she's loving all that lush grass. She doesn't seem to be affected by the removal of her coat. And here we are back round. I wonder if we're going to get some thunderstorms. But it's quite eventful at the moment, and I think we're more controlled in our approach to what we've done. We seem to have more time, we seem to manage it better, but again, that just comes with time. They don't seem to mind that at all, do they?
She's having me time while the kids are in the crash. The one behind you.
The one that's already been sheared? Yeah, no, I've been up there, so yeah. I should start charging tickets for this.
Why she's not using my new phone? Jill, can you watch the gate for me whilst I get another one?
We're going to use the fleece as a weed suppressant. There's no money in it apparently. And plus there's only 40 shear, you ain't going to get much for it, but nowadays there's just no money in sheep in the wool, unless you're obviously mass producing. They don't mind it. I remember watching this when in the 70s. Public information films. There she goes.